This is super exciting. It's a brand new bike day, and this time of year is always chaos. It's extremely exciting because bike brands release their new range of bikes, which you saw with the Alpine Trail E1, which is my brand new e-bike. Initially, I was a skeptic when it comes to electric mountain bikes. Then I rode one, then I owned one, and now I'm absolutely converted. You saw firsthand the excitement that an e-bike brought me, and that's the Alpine Trail E1. This is the Alpine Trail Carbon 2. Confusing with all the numbers, but it's a very, very different bike, but shares the same geometry. So it's got a 63-degree head angle, lots of other things we'll talk about in a minute, but it's actually this bike that I've been most excited about this year. Given that I wasn't thrilled about the concept of having an e-bike because I didn't believe in them, I wasn't super like, get me that e-bike, get me that e-bike, but this bike I've known about for ages. It's got a full carbon triangle and it is the core Enduro bike, the Alpine Trail that I absolutely fell in love with last year. I took it to Hardline, I took it to Red Bull Rampage to ride in Utah, I raced an EWS on it. The Alpine Trail for me ticks every box. You know that I'm a big fan of hardtails with no rear suspension, but for a bike that really you can ride aggressively at the biggest bike parks on earth, where you kind of watch guys go past on downhill bikes and think, fair enough, I actually don't need that because I've got this. To be honest, fresh out the box, this is almost fully stock out of the box. It's the best looking bike Marin have ever made, in my opinion. It's stunning. Carbon effect, that you can see the raw carbon there under the lacquer. It looks sick. It's still got an alloy rear triangle, but some of the points which I love. Look at this fork that comes on it. The Fox 38, which has got gloss crowns, gloss lowers. It couldn't match the bike better, even with the Fox decals. Got the new head badge on there, which matches the whole bike. It is such a good foundation and base looking bike for me to do upgrades on. I'm going to do a couple of changes today, but this is a riding video. I want to upgrade everything right now, but I really just want to ride this bike. I'm buzzing to have an Alpine Trail again without a battery on it. The e-bike, forget about that for a moment. It's amazing, and let me stress how fortunate I am to ride all of these new bikes in such a short space of time. Like, I'm super lucky to even get given a new bike, but this one, all year I've been buzzing about, and finally it's here in the garage. It's got an air shock, it's got 150mm of rear travel, 160mm front travel, 63.5-degree head angle, which is pretty slack, so super aggressive. It's also got a very steep seat tube angle, 78 degrees. That's good for climbing when you sat down, but it's also got really long reach numbers, which complements the seat tube angle. When you stand up out the saddle, it's not like the bars are underneath you. It still has long reach. Again, really good for steep riding, really good for an aggressive bike, but it doesn't look aggressive, does it? It looks sleek, it looks low, it looks fast. 100% just made to have fun on. It's got 29-inch wheels. How many gears has it got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 speed. I've already put my pedals on it. I've put gusset grips on it. And I put the brand new P&W loam post and loam lever on it, which is a very trick upgrade and matches perfectly. It's got that black, nice, cushy button there. Oh, sensational. Tactile. These forks are cool, aren't they? It may get Öhlins. To continue the theme with all my bikes, like if you've seen the van video when I opened the tailgate, 3 bikes with Öhlins forks lined up looking outwards is a cool thing. But out the box, that's a terrific pair of forks. Öhlins is an upgrade, they perform better, but this is cool. The Alpine Trail Carbon 2, forget that I said E, I'm still like mentally drawn to the motorised one. The 2 is the higher spec one, whereas the e-bike I had the lower spec one. So this is maxed out, the best spec you can buy from Marin. And like I say, there are upgrades to be done. I think before I go riding, I just want to change the tyres. These are the tyres I'm going to put on, the Continental Der Kaiser Project Protection tyres. They've got super strong sidewalls, they're really light. And you can see from the shape of the nozzles how... Nozzles? The knobbles, I've still got the pressure washer issue in my head, haven't I? They're super fast rolling that way. That's like the way the ground meets the tyre. But then under braking, you get insane braking. And having chatted to the Athertons about tyres and things like that, they really notice this tyre in late braking, like how late you can brake for a turn. They just hook up like mad. So let's put these on the bike. It looks nice adding a bit of colour with the Conti logos, and it's kind of given me a bit of inspiration for what changes we might continue to make to this bike. I've got some ideas of what I want to do, suspension wise, drivetrain, brakes, things like that. Certainly cranks. On the e-bike I couldn't change the cranks. It'd be nice to put some titanium. Wouldn't it look good to have tie ones on this to go with the grey?
Would.
It's crying out for it. But I would like your suggestions. What brakes, what gears, what suspension, things like that. I mean, there's a lot of options to put on a bike this good looking, and certainly a bike that's this tame in terms of colour. You can do anything. There are forks out there that are bright green. There are, what else is there? Cranks that are pink, you know? Let us know. Don't go with pink though, please. So I'm going to go riding now. I'm going to go to Rogate Bike Park, take my GoPro, and I'm very, very much looking forward to getting back on an Alpine trail, hitting jumps, hitting berms. What a thing. Why am I not taking an e-bike to a non-uplift bike park? This is why. Just arrived at Rogate Bike Park. It's actually almost dark, but I rang Sam Reynolds on the way down.
Always here for a quick couple laps, Matthew.
Who's always here to join us on the channel. So the bike's beneath me. I've never ridden it. I'm very excited. What are you on? Something similar?
My trail bike, yeah, kind of the same as you.
And Sam knows all the lines here, so...
Yeah, what do you want to go down first?
That one says unavoidable gaps, which is our flavour.
Yeah.
And I am on an enduro bike, so I did say I wanted to take it somewhere proper. This is more proper than Woburn, more proper than Chicksands.
Because it's about to get dark, we might as well get straight into it, shall we? Let's go down the S&M line, it's called.
It's actually about to get dark. Traffic was a nightmare, and I forget this time of year that you can't do anything after 3, so we've got...
Really?
We'll do as many laps as we can, and you guys can just fade off to sleep as you watch it get dark. It might be nice if it's bedtime. Yeah, I hope I've done up all the bolts.
Yeah.
Oh, a very unavoidable gap. I can't, my rear shock's almost flat. It feels good actually. Bit of cushion for the pushing. And the handlebars are like 800mm wide.
Just been cleaned out, this is lovely.
Unavoidable gap. Oh, I've missed the Alpine Trail. My word. That's a sick bit of track. Oh, here's the slopestyle section. Whale tail. Oh my god! That was rough, I got it all wrong. This is one of my favourite tracks ever. So good. Tree stump. Unavoidable gap. Yes. One more. Samuel!
There you go.
That's the best bike test track of all. Got grippy bits, slick bits, jumps, berms, drops, and a slopestyle feature.
Right, so you do the classic next called roller coaster, which ends up on this big jump here.
I'm up for a roller coaster.
Test out how the bike flies.
Sure does fly, boy. What now then?
Everyone's favourite bottle rocket. Flowy, high speed.
Bottle rocket. It looks pitch black on the GoPro.
Yeah, hope you got the right settings. I can't really help you out.
Okay, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. We did pedal all the way to the top, believe it or not, with no motors, no batteries. We walked. Ready? You might have to push it this time. This bike is fast, Sam.
It does go quick.
It is fast. Oh wow. That was pretty cool. Oh, that was tight. Yes, dude. This is a lovely track. Few jumps. Now going into the big one. Oh no! I was desperate to do a no-hander as well. Desperate. It worked in my head, but my hands just didn't come off.
I was nervous too, because if you go for a no-hander and don't do it, you end up just jumping like a proper dead sailor.
You look like a Sharpie in the air.
You do.
This bike's terrific. Honestly, I know you were playing around with your back wheel and stuff.
I actually thought I blew my back wheel up.
This is a fast bike.
I think 29 genuinely rolls faster, isn't it?
I've never appreciated the difference because I've never ridden with like a, can I say, evenly matched rider?
I think we're pretty similar, yes. So this one's mainline. I actually can't remember which one it is, but I know it's got cool stuff on it. So. What
do you mean you can't remember?
Like
what's on it?
I know there's two in my head. I don't know which one it is of those two.
I don't know either, so.
But we'll find out pretty quick. It might have the triple in. I'm not sure.
If it is a triple, do you have to triple it?
No.
Okay. But you will.
Go up here though.
Highline. Oh my god. I like that this bike's silent too. Quite dark. It's getting dark, isn't it? Yes, dude. The tracks here are really well built. Sick, that's really cool. Woburn needs a track like that.
You do. I'll follow you then, Matthew. Whoa! Oh, second go down is always better, isn't it?
Really good. Yes, lad.
That's cool. Oh, nice. You run down the whole thing.
Faster than you, boy. No, it wasn't. Right, should we go get a curry?
Yeah. Poppadoms?
Poppadoms. Lovely riding with Sam Reynolds. Lovely takeaway curry. And the bike is back now in the stand after its debut ride, looking filthy, muddy, dirty. But it is a hell of a bike. I say this a lot, and I'm very lucky that I get to throw this statement out there so many times a year. But this is my favourite bike, and it hasn't even been upgraded with all my parts yet. The suspension initially felt soft. I said that, I think, when we dropped in for the first run. The rear shock especially. I do have a habit of running my suspension really hard because I'm a dirt jump rider. I always will be. I like bikes to be stiff, firm, easy to jump, heavy to land. And I dropped in and I thought, that feels soft. But actually, throughout the day, throughout the session, even though it was getting dark, it's just a delight to ride. And it's extremely fast. It wants to go fast. Some bikes just feel like every piece of input you gives a direct outcome of speed, and other bikes like want to be thrown around. But the fact that this has got super short chainstays but long reach on the front end means that it is playful in those tight corners, is extremely playful. And then the 29-inch wheels, I genuinely noticed the rolling difference versus Sam on 27.5-inch wheels. It just wants to go quick. Maybe it's not like the hardtail, the San Quentin, where I can do crazy moves and like really do little flicks with the back end, but I think from Rogate all the way up to Whistler and something super steep, this bike is unreal. I'm well into it. What parts does it need? You guys tell me. What suspension, what drivetrain, what brakes? We know it's going to have halo wheels, we know it's going to have gusset parts, but the rest is fully open. It's sick. I love it. It's a nice one, Marin, on making my favourite looking bike and my new favourite enduro bike. It's unreal. And thanks to you guys, legends. We did pedal all the way to the top, believe it or not, with no motors, no batteries. We walked. Ready?
Hopefully Ben can sort these colours out or something.
Yeah, he
make
can
it look a bit less down.
Hopefully he can make it look like we pedalled up as well.
Yeah.